Right, so it's been a crazy, crazy off season to this point, and it's not even over
Oh,
since
it's
the season
mad.
haven't started.
Yeah,
But a few things that we wanted to talk about here today. You know, you have the DeAndre Hopkins trade, which was probably the biggest first move of the off
yeah.
season, and that was huge.
I think it was the biggest and the most kind of like what is going on trade like
Yeah,
in the last few years, man. Because I thought it was a fake announcement. I thought it was a meme that he got traded.
yeah, so did I. Like, I remember when that group chat that we have, when that was first put in the group chat, I was like, no
Yeah,
way is this true. And then
like
we found out later on it was true, and it was
mm,
terrible, terrible value.
oh, like it's ridiculous. Just because what did they didn't really have anyone else to rely on with Hopkins, and not like even as well. Like he's the best wide receiver out there at the moment. You know what I mean? Like he's the only Texans player I know. So
Yeah, I get you, I
what's their
get you.
identity now at the moment? You get what I mean?
Yeah, like to me, he was the most important player on that Houston team, bar Deshaun
Yeah.
Watson, because you know that offense itself, it's unrecognizable without DeAndre Hopkins because you have
Hmm.
yeah your secondary option is Will Fuller, and he's consistently unreliable, so he's never on the pitch because he's always injured. And then you have the
Hmm.
third wide receiver, Kenny Stills, who they recently acquired just last season from
Yeah.
Miami. And you know he's a
Hmm.
good deep threat, but he's not your number one receiver. You're not going to pick him out every time. So when DeAndre
Yeah.
Hopkins, you know, if he's not on the field, I don't know how that offense is going to function. But they did acquire Brandon Cooks, with a trade with the Rams, sorry, formerly of the Patriots. And while he is a good player, he's not on DeAndre Hopkins' level.
No. And like I feel like Hopkins was kind of like the modern day kind of Smith, being a Panthers fan and all. Like you saw a bit of him in Hopkins just because he wasn't the fastest, he wasn't the best. Well, no, he was the best, but like he wasn't that physical and all that kind of stuff. But he was able to get the ball. He was able to make moves with the ball. He was able to get yards, which is like the most important thing. And he was just such a good player. Um, I just don't understand the move.
Yeah,
And not only that is they got him for what I would say is nothing. The trade was 100% in favor of the Cardinals. Like
one
I
hundred
don't see
percent.
how Texans made any sense with this.
The Texans basically gave him away for next to nothing.
Mm,
So we have it here. Houston got the running back, which is David Johnson. You know, he was supposed to be this
yeah.
next big thing coming out a few years ago, and it just didn't pan out that way.
Mm,
Injuries kind of
no.
they took his toll on him, and he was poor ever since. And he was replaced by Kenyon Drake, the Miami running back that the Cardinals acquired in a trade, who recently signed a first round
Yeah.
tender, I believe. So they got David Johnson, the running back, and a 2020 second round pick for the draft that just passed, and a 2021 fourth round pick. And in return, the Arizona Cardinals, they got DeAndre Hopkins and a 2020 fourth round pick, which
Yeah.
was absolutely disgusting value. Disgusting.
You got to give it to them though.
Yeah, like
They went shopping and they got the best thing there.
it's a brilliant, brilliant trade. But what are the Texans doing, man? Like I'm just thinking about it now. You know, the biggest
I
thing
don't
that
know.
came out with Hopkins, it was, oh, he wants a new contract. Well, if you're the Houston Texans, I don't know why you're not paying
Yeah.
him. You don't have any massive salary
Yeah.
cap issues there. There's no one standout player with,
Mm,
you know, a huge chunk of salary, bar maybe JJ Watt, Whitney Merciless. And they got rid of Jadavion Clowney as well,
yeah.
so they don't have to pay him either.
Yeah. Yes. I'm not surprised. Like I'm not surprised why the Cardinals would went for him because who do they have? They have Kyle Murray, which I mean, good quarterback. Like that's a good quarterback. And then he's got a veteran in Larry Fitzgerald as well on the pitch at the same time or on the field at the same time.
Yeah,
That's going to be crazy, man. That's going to be exciting.
it will, it will. And you know, Larry Fitz is getting older, so you know there was questions this season of whether he was actually going to hang it up and retire at the end of the season. He hasn't. I think
Yeah.
he signed a 2 year extension. But you know, just the influence of
Yeah.
having Larry Fitzgerald still on that team, having, I think it's Christian Kirk as well, and now having DeAndre Hopkins, one of the most physical receivers in the league.
Yeah.
Like, they are loaded on offense in terms of receiving weapons anyway.
Man, and I know for a fact that, like, Larry Fitzgerald, man, he needs a ring. Like, he has to get a ring at some point, man. Like, I really want him to get one. And I'm really happy that they made this move. Like, I'm not a Cardinals fan, like, by any means.
Yeah.
But, like, I recognize Fitzgerald a lot. So the Hopkins trade made me kind of happy, but it was like I was just dumbfounded at the same time, man.
Yeah,
but
like everyone
Cardinals next season, here we go.
Yeah, everyone wants to see, the legends get a ring, no matter. Like, I'm a Seahawks fan, and I'm not supposed to like the Cardinals, but you can't not help but like Larry Fitzgerald. It would be the same with, Phillip
Legend.
Rivers. Phillip Rivers has never won a ring, but everyone kind of wants to see him win a ring. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just a likable guy, and you want to see his career rewarded within the right way. Same with Dan Marino when he retired. It was Dan Marino, one of the best quarterbacks ever, recognized on the all-time team. He never won a ring, and it was just sad to see. But moving back to
it is sad to see.
Yeah, just moving back to the Hopkins trade there. We're going to compare it to the Stefon Diggs trade. So Stefon Diggs was traded from the Minnesota Vikings to the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
And this was after the DeAndre Hopkins trade.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're just going to compare, the kind of hauls that the teams got for their receivers. And on face value, to me, we already talked about how ridiculous the DeAndre Hopkins trade was in terms of the value that the Texans received.
Yeah.
Like, Hopkins was a first-round receiver in 2013. Like, that alone should have warranted a first-round pick, in return.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, like, no matter if he was played to the level that he has, which, he definitely warrants a first-round pick, or even if he wasn't, you've still made that long-term investment with that first-round pick.
Yeah.
But Stefon Diggs, I believe he was a 5th-round draft pick in the 2014 or 15 draft, am I correct?
Yeah, I think you are. Wait, I'm trying to look at my screen where it is, but I don't know.
Yeah, I can see it here. He was 2015 5th rounder, 146th overall, 19 receivers drafted before him, which is crazy.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, so
he's a great player, man.
The Vikings, they got a 1st, a 5th, and a 6th round draft pick in the draft that just passed in 2020, and they got a 2021 4th round pick. And the Bills, in return, they got their man. They got Stefon Diggs and a 2027 round draft pick.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, it's a way bigger draft haul than what the Texans got for their receiver. And arguably, I would 100% say that Hopkins is better. A better receiver.
Then Diggs.
Yeah, he kind of froze up on me there, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, man. But yeah, what you're saying there is that he's better than Diggs. I say, yeah, but Diggs he does have a good season as well. Like, what was it last season? He got 1,000 plus yards, and that was his career best, wasn't it? And 63 touchdowns as well, wasn't it, or something like that?
Yeah,
he's
Diggs,
a good player, but like I can't believe that player, and maybe it's to do with his age or something. How old is Hopkins?
Hopkins is only 27, I believe. If he
27,
28, yeah.
Oh, Diggs is 26, so it's got nothing to do with age.
No, not at all.
Oh my god, I was thinking that. Oh man,
maybe
it's because he only got a few years left.
It just puts the Texans draft into worse perspective. You know what I mean?
It really does. But Diggs is. I do think Diggs is worth what he got, because I don't rate Cousins that much, and he had a good season with Cousins. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to go to the Bills, who's the quarterback at the Bills?
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen. I don't know enough to say anything about him, but I say Diggs is a good receiver to have a partnership with. I think really any quarterback. I think he's kind of a well-adapted player that can adapt to other quarterbacks pretty well.
Yeah,
And
like the thing about Diggs is he's an excellent route runner. So no matter what
yeah,
system you put him in, he's going to be able to execute a route to to the highest degree. But with
yeah,
Josh Allen, his problem that's been spoken about, within the media and stuff, is his accuracy. Like
yeah.
I don't believe he has an issue with accuracy. I just believe he has an issue with the way he throws the ball. Like
Okay.
he's probably the strongest arm quarterback in the league besides Patrick Mahomes. So when he throws the
Okay.
ball, he just throws it with 100% force. Like there is no touch, there's no finesse. So he'll often
Yeah.
overthrow or just
Mhm.
slightly misplace it, but because he throws it so fast, it looks like it's completely a missed throw. And then when you contrast that to Cousins is he's a safe passer. He'll check it down to the running back. He'll check it down to the a hitch route, a flat route, something something easy to hit, something as it goes. But
Yeah.
in contrast in styles, I think Stefon Diggs will be happier in Buffalo
Oh,
because
definitely.
Josh Allen is going to take those shots down the field where Kirk
Yeah.
Cousins, his career says that he doesn't tend to take those shots. He's kind of like Derek Carr in
Hmm.
that way. Derek Carr is a very play it safe quarterback. He'll check it down. Alex Smith as well. You can describe him like that as well.
Yeah. And what was also surprising, just like to compare the trades again, is that Hopkins came out of nowhere, and it was just kind of like, what is going on with Diggs? I'm pretty sure it was announced that they didn't want to trade him, or like the GM said that they didn't want to trade him at the start, and then they done it anyways. And I think that I'm not sure what direction they want to go with their team, the Vikings. Obviously, how long is Cousins' contract there now? He put an extension on, didn't he? A
Yeah,
while ago.
I think Cousins signed a 3 year extension recently enough, and that's probably one of the biggest factors
Yeah,
on why they ended up trading Stephon Diggs away because there was reports here and there that Stephon Diggs was very unhappy with Kirk Cousins and
yeah,
even Adam Thielen. Adam Thielen is one of those NFL, nice guys. He's a Nick Foles. He's a Kyle Long. He's up there with the good guys in the NFL.
hmm,
But even he was beginning to get frustrated
yeah,
with Cousins' play at the beginning of the last season. And he ended up calling Kirk Cousins
yeah.
out on a radio show, I believe, while Kirk Cousins was there. So,
Oh no.
like
Oh man.
it just went to show how
You should never do that.
you can't. Yeah, it was a bad idea, but it wasn't in the same way because after that, Kirk Cousins actually went on a tear.
Yeah.
Like his play completely improved. He started taking those shots downfield.
Mm.
But yeah, I can understand why Stephon Diggs can just in his own mind he's kind of like, no, I can't really do this anymore. It's too frustrating. But
Yeah.
just comparing Stephon Diggs' career so far back to DeAndre Hopkins. DeAndre Hopkins has played with so many quarterbacks before he got his grade A day one star in
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson. Like
Yeah.
if you actually go back and look at who Hopkins played with since he was drafted in 2013, it's crazy. So he played with
Mm.
Matt Schaub, he played with Case Keenum, who ended up being, eventually the Minnesota Vikings starting quarterback, who also played with Stephon Diggs. He also
Yeah.
played with Brock Osweiler and Ryan Fitzmagic. Like, he had a revolving door of quarterbacks before he actually, got a good quarterback. And that just makes it even crazier to me that he's been
Mm.
traded because he finally has that quarterback who's going to take the shots, deliver the ball downfield accurately, precisely. And now he's in Arizona with a second-year
Another
quarterback in
fucking.
Kyler Murray.
Hmm. I kind of cut out halfway through that, so I'm just going to agree that you said everything correct.
All right, cool.
Sorry.
We'll check it in the audio and we'll see what's good.
Just see if it matches up, because I'm just going
I'm sure it'll work as long as you're not like,
Yeah.
it's fine.
Oh man.
Yeah, and just again, Hopkins was far more important a player in Houston than Stephon Diggs was
Oh,
in Minnesota.
absolutely.
Like as we said before,
Hmm.
there aren't that many weapons in the Texans locker room, and in comparison to the Vikings, they have
Yeah.
they have Adam Thielen, who we spoke about, excellent receiver. They have Kyle Rudolph, the tight end, and they also have Dalvin Cook, which is a Pro Bowl caliber running back as well. So it wasn't like he was the only one there
Yeah.
that was, capable of making the plays. Whereas the Texans, like I said before, Will Fuller is always injured, and Kenny Stills is an unreliable pass catcher.
Yeah, it's just with the Vikings. I can see that with this trade, they are looking forward to the future, because they got value for the trade. But with the Vikings, is that I don't know. It's just, man, I never see them doing well, no matter what kind of move they do. Like, the only time I've really felt that they had a real good shot was when Peterson was still on the team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, Kirk Cousins, I feel like they shouldn't have him, but I guess there's no one else really at the moment to replace him with, and you wouldn't really want to draft a QB anyway, just because he's there. And I don't know. I don't like the Vikings, man. I'm just going on a pointless rant. I just don't like him.
Yeah, well, Kirk Cousins, he's a safe option. He's not going to lose you games, but he's not going to win you games at the same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do. I get that.
We'll just double it back there. And the Vikings, they ended up drafting a wide receiver in the first round, the LSU wide receiver, Justin Jefferson. So they immediately replaced Stefon Diggs with the pick that they gained from the trade to the Bills.